My name is Omran Adam, and I'm honored to be here at the ICANN 86. I'm a NextGen participant, and today I will be speaking about AI, internet access, and peace building. And of course, also on focus on how digital governors can support fragile communities. My main message here is very simple, which is that artificial intelligence can support vulnerable communities, but only and only when the internet underneath is secure, accessible, multilingual, and of course, reliable and trusted. For fragile and conflict-affected communities, digital infrastructure is for communication, education, health, crisis response, and peace building. And I would like to explain very briefly about why this is very personal to me. My background connects several worlds. I'm originally from Sudan and now live in Norway. And of course, my journey through Ukraine, India, Egypt, and some other countries as well, where I study now artificial intelligence in Kristiania in Oslo, Norway. I also come from a medical background, and my work has combined AI, data science, and of course, peace building. And I am the founder of Tech AI, focused on ethical, customized AI models, systems, and the dialogue platform that focuses on dialogue, trust building, and inclusion, and of course, communication. So this topic is not only theoretical to me, it is very practical. It comes from seeing both the power of technology and the harm of digital exclusion. The problem is digital inequality in fragile communities. By fragile communities, places affected by conflict, displacement, weak infrastructure, economic instability, or limited public services. In this context, people may face internet disruption, weak connectivity, misinformation, cyber abuse, limited infrastructure, language barriers, and exclusion from digital services. I use Sudan and Africa here as examples of a broader reality, not as a political argument. When the internet is unstable, people may lose access to health information, education, humanitarian support, financial services, and reliable communication. Digital exclusion can then become social, economic, and political exclusion as well. The statistics on this slide should be read as evidence of a wider access gap that still affects millions of people. And if you see in the slides, the internet accessibility in Europe is 92.2%, while in Africa it's only 35.7%. And most of the countries that actually have access to internet are either countries that speak either French or English or Arabic, while the others are actually left behind. AI can support communities in very practical ways. It can help with healthcare, education, translation, humanitarian response, crisis communication, early warning systems, misinformation detection, and accessibility for people with a disability or low literacy. But the key point is this: AI only creates value when people can access it, understand it, and trust it. If a community has weak internet, if tools are available only in dominant languages, or if the digital space is unsafe, then AI will not serve that community properly. So AI is not only a software question. It is connected to infrastructure, governors, inclusion, and digital trust. The slide shows two possible futures for AI. On the left, AI without responsible digital governors can increase misinformation, cyber abuse, bias, exclusion, surveillance, and digital inequality. These risks are especially serious in fragile communities, where people may already have limited protection and limited access to the reliable information. And on the right, we see a more responsible future: ethical AI, inclusion, accessibility, secure internet, multilingual participation, and digital trust. The difference between these features is not only technology. It is governors. Governors shapes who is included, whose language is supported, and how secure systems are, and whether digital tools empower communities or harm them. This is one of the most important slides in my presentation. I say that ICANN may not be an AI organization, but ICANN plays an important role in the internet environment that AI depends on. When people use digital services, they rely on users, devices, local networks, ISPs, the domain name systems, domain names, and the global internet ecosystem. The domain name system helps people reach websites and services through human-readable names instead of only numbers. This sounds technical, but it has a human impact. If people cannot reliably find and reach digital services, they cannot benefit from those services. ICANNs work around stable identifiers, DNS coordination, universal acceptance, multilingual internet, interoperability, and security helps make global digital communication possible. For fragile communities, I mean by that can support education, health, humanitarian coordination, businesses, civic participation, and connection with the world. This slide shows the relationship between AI and internet governance as layers. At the bottom, we have internet infrastructure, DNS routing, access networks, and resilience. Above that, we have governors and standards, ICANN policy, security norms, universal acceptance, and coordination. And above that, we have AI systems and applications, such as translation tools, dialogue tools, early warning, education, and health applications. And at the top, we have human impact, like peacebuilding, health, education, and participation. The message is that the top layer depends on the layers below. If infrastructure is weak, AI cannot reach people. And if the governance is weak, people may not trust the system. And now let me just show you how that looks like in real life. In fragile communities, AI translation can help people access information in their own language. Telemedicine can help people reach medicine, medical guidance when physical services are limited. Educational tools can support learning during displacement or instability. And dialogue platforms can support communication and trust building. Misinformation detections can help reduce harmful information. And humanitarian coordination tools can help map services and needs. This is also where my work connects. Through Tech AI, I focus on ethical, customized AI systems for local contexts. Through the dialogue platform, I focus on communication, dialogue, inclusion, and trust building. The lesson is simple, that technology should be designed with communities, not only for communities. The future should be accessible, secure, inclusive, ethical, and connected. AI will continue to develop quickly, but its benefits will not automatically reach everyone. We have to intentionally design systems that include multilingual communities, youth, countries such as in Africa, displaced populations, and people living in fragile contexts. For me, inclusion means more than access to devices. It means access to names, languages, services, trust, safety, participation, and representation, of course, in digital governance. Young people also matter here. We are not only users of the internet. We are builders, researchers, founders, organizers, and future policymakers. First, AI needs reliable internet infrastructure. Without connectivity, AI cannot reach people meaningfully. And second, digital governance affects inclusion. The way we govern names, access, security, language, and interoperability shapes who can participate online. Third, fragile communities must not be left behind. If new technologies only serve already connected communities, AI may increase inequality instead of reducing it. And fourth, ethical and accessible technology should be global. Trust, safety, multilingual access, and inclusion should not be luxuries. They should be part of the foundation of digital development. And my main message here is that AI can support peacebuilding and fragile communities only when it is connected to responsible internet governance and inclusive infrastructure. Thank you very much, and I'm honored to be part of the NextGen. And I would be very happy to continue the conversation about AI, internet governance, inclusion, and how digital technologies can support fragile communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Omran. Really interesting work and great presentation. Any questions for him in the audience? We may have time for one, maybe two. David, go ahead.
Hi, thank you for that presentation, David Marglin. So it sounds great. And in a world you live in the Nordic model, I would imagine that they're already implementing. I don't see it coming to the United States anytime soon, but who knows? Is there anywhere else in the world where you see your vision already happening and communities developing in the ways that you have appreciated that they probably should?
If I understood your question correctly, I would say that I could actually see that developing right now in Africa and in many African countries. Europe is at the front, I could be able to say. They're doing a tremendous job, but also in the Asia Pacific regions. They're also doing like India, Malaysia, and so many other countries as well.
But any specific places that have implemented or started down this road that you could show?
Any specific what?
Any specific communities or regions or places that we could look at and say, they're already doing this?
Yeah, I could be able to say, for example, Central Africa, Sudan, Chad, Central Africa, and etc. I am from a tribe called Maba. That is both in Chad, Africa, and Chad, Central Africa, Sudan, and that area. And like our grandparents, they're completely disconnected from the internet. So they're not able actually to connect with us on the internet because the internet is not accessible to them. So they're not able to access it. While if you check our parents, for example, you find that they may, because they're multilingual, so they actually have access to the internet because they speak either English, French, or Arabic or other languages. While I have I have a fully access to the internet. So if you go back a little bit, we'll find out actually that there's a huge number of people that are completely left behind. And that is why if you check the statistics, you'll be able to see that the connectivity or people that have access in Africa is only 35%. That is like 35% of 1.7 billion people. That is over 1 billion people in Africa that are completely out of the internet, actually. I could be able to say it that way.